Hello everyone, it's Whitebox again. I'm back from an embarrassing loss against France 2 with Shadows Flicker Like Flame and Shroud of Silent Mist. Just go ahead and try to get some revenge here. Maybe not against the same adversary. We'll go ahead and randomize this once more. Let me go ahead and get this pulled up. My good old randomizer here. Once again, I'm going to stick with two-handed play, so 2 spirits. I'm going to stick with difficulty 4 to 6. Especially I need to break this solo losing streak. And still staying away from scenarios and the thematic board. Let's go ahead and click go here. It looks like I've got Spreading Rot Renews the Earth and Serpent Slumbering Beneath the Island. Spreading Rot Renews the Earth is an apocryphal spirit that was made by Eric Roos for Khan. I don't really want to play that. It's not really, I don't want to say homebrew because it was by the creator of this game, but it's not as official as the other spirits. So let me go ahead and try a new combination. Alright, so I get Downpour and Serpent, Bird and Snake. I think that'll be a fun combination. Going against Russia 2. Try to get some revenge against Russia. And yeah, let me go ahead and get this set up. Layout here says opposite shores. Just because it's easier for stream, I'm going to stick with 2B standard. So standard layout. I'm going to go ahead and get this all set up. Alrighty. Too far. Alright. So Downpour Drenches the world, and Serpent Beneath the Island against Russia. I have a recent loss against Russia as well, so yet another chance to get revenge. I'm going to take it. I don't like those Russian explorers. I want them to go down. And down they shall go. Pull out my stack of spirits here. And try to search for these animal spirits. Downpour I've played a couple times. Very fun spirit. Might go for the strategy of just maxing out presence on the board early on, if I can get away with it. Although Serpent's also a slow burn, so I don't know. That'll be interesting. Russia plays fast, I think, so that'll be a little tough. Boards I'm playing on are going to be C4 Downpour and E4 Serpent. Okay. I'll go ahead and go with, let's say board C up top. And put Downpour up there. And start setting this up. I feel like this is upside down from what I usually do. Let's go with that. It's a little easier for me to see that, I think. Okay, we'll save those for the initial explorer. Russia 2 doesn't have any particularly special setup. The nice thing about Russia 2, should be a much easier game than normally against Russia because that level 3 Russian ability is what really makes them tough for me. So without that, without competition among hunters, it should be okay. So let me go ahead and get everything finalized here. Got a couple behind to put on the board. Now Serpent, probably one of my favorite heroes. It's a kind of support heroes again. One of my favorite spirits. It's a very much support spirit early on in the game, but grows into a monster by late game. And as I am adding presence frequently to Downpour, I should be able to absorb presence frequently with Serpent as well. Alright, I need to know what their setups are. Okay. So special Russian setup here is on each board during setup, add 1 beast and 1 explorer to the highest numbered land without towns and cities. So that's going to be this land on this board and this land on that board. So I'll double up explorers there, or double up beasts there. And the tricky thing about Russia is during play, explorers do +1 damage. So no longer do you have the option of just leaving one single explorer there and ignoring him, knowing that he won't do damage to the land. These Russian explorers are very threatening. So we want to try to get them under control. The nice thing is, since I'm not playing against level 3 Russia, I can stack them up into one land and just worry about them later. So I'll stick with the colors I was playing last time. I can do blue for Downpour and red for Serpent. I think that's alright. So for Downpour, I put one presence on my starting board in the lowest numbered wetland. And for Serpent, 1 on my starting board in land number 5. Okay, should be able to see those okay. I'll go ahead and cover these boards. Do my initial explorer, and then I should be alright. I do have to set up the fear deck as well. I think it's close to good. Didn't actually earn any fear cards in my last game that I saw, so I was able to keep it mostly the same. So Russia is 4-3-4. So currently I've got 4-3. 3-4-3, so I just need one more fear card at the bottom here. 4-3-4, and for Russia 3 or Russia 2, there's no special setup for the invader deck. I've already got this shuffled. So I'll go ahead and do that and pull out my initial explorer, which is on mountains. So initial explorer on mountains. Haven't really taken a look at the board state just yet, but it should be alright. 1 is one of the cities, so that'll stop the build there, and there are no Dahan there, so I can just kind of ignore it, which is good. I like being able to ignore early lands, so I can kind of grow in power. So no beasts there, no towns, so yeah, I don't have to worry about that one too much. Okay, got that all. And I just need to grab my cards for the spirits, and then I will be good to start. So yeah, like I said, Serpent, one of my favorite spirits, very cool, very good in team games. Probably the best defense ability in the game, with Elemental Aegis. I think I played Downpour twice. Once I went for the strategy of just growing every turn and using your elements to suppress their damage. It's going to be tougher to do that against Russia because the explorers do more damage than normal. But that may still be the play. I have the city right in front of me, but that's alright. Okay, setup is done. Now I can go ahead and get started. So for Serpent, I can move this up just a little bit so that I can see the full spirit boards. Let's go there. That should be good. Alright. So let's see. I'll kind of go back and forth a little bit here. So starting out with an exploring mountains. So they're going to build in mountains first. They're going to build 1 city, 2 towns. And I'd like to defend those Dahan if I can, just to kind of have them fight back. This one and this one, no Dahan, no beasts, so I can probably ignore those and just focus on growing my spirits there. So these lands are going to be the ones that I worry about right off the bat. I don't really want to start out with an Absorb Essence, that's a little early. I'm not going to play Elemental Aegis on the first turn because there's no attack. So one of my gifts is going to be given. Either Gift of Flowing Power, in which target spirit gains 1 energy. Target spirit chooses to either play another power card by paying its cost, or gain 1 fire and 1 water. That's not bad. Or Gift gains a minor power. So Gift of Flowing Power is probably going to be the play. And to that end, I can kind of slow roll this here. I don't need to go card plays. Probably. It might be a good idea to do that. So I'm going to go for bottom track first. So I can get 2 card plays next turn, in which an Absorbed Essence and Elemental Aegis will be very nice together. Alright. I won't have the any element, but that's okay. I'll be able to work around that. Okay. So I kind of want to spread out a little bit, so I can start moving in. This is going to be the best move. That'll let me play Elemental Aegis and defend 2 there and there. With Absorb Essence, it's going to be a defend 3. So next turn I should be able to defend both those lands with Serpent. So for my second growth option, after moving a land, I have to do it to a land without blight. Sorry guys. So I'm going to move it into Bat Sands. And not as good, but I can possibly... Yeah, that actually makes it a little trickier, because I won't be able to move in there. I do have a move presence option, but I'd rather not use it. So we'll see what happens. I'll stick with that and see what I can do. Okay. And for my second growth option, I can gain a power card and 1 energy, or I can gain 4 energy. I think I'll just gain the 4 energy and start setting up for early majors. I also gain 1 energy per turn for playing, and my first option is going to be a Gift of Flowing Power, which I'll pay 1 for. Not going to get any innates this turn, but that's okay. Alright, and then I go into Downpour Drenches the World. So there's a strategy where you just keep playing Growth 2 over and over again, and just don't do card plays. And I think that's probably going to be the way that I go. Just because it will let me stop some things. So means next turn I won't have any card plays, but that is fine. So this turn I just want to sink foundations into mud. I'm definitely going to want to kill a town this turn if I can. Problem is I don't know really the best place to do it. Actually, no, I do. It's going to be this one, because then they'll be able to counterattack back, and I won't have to worry about defending that land. So that'll be the play. I'm going to play Foundation Sink into Mud, and I'm going to do Growth 2 and go all top all the time, and place 2 presents at a range of 2. I do want, what's the range on this? 0, so yeah, I do want 1 there. And one of my special abilities is Drench the Landscape. Spirit actions and special rules treat my sacred sites as wetlands in addition to the printed terrain. So I may as well just go in there so I can set up a wetland. And now I can do this. So I gain 2 temporary elements. I'm going to use the markers here just so I can keep track, because it's going to get a little unwieldy with all the temporary elements. So let me pour these out. And I do have 2 temporary elements. I'll put them by the track so I can see them. Okay. And then I have to discard 2 cards, which is fine. I'll go ahead and discard Gift of Abundance and Unbearable Deluge. So that's okay. I'm going to play Foundation Sink into Mud. change this up a little bit, because I will be able to repeat that. So instead of putting my second presence here to make a sacred site, I'm going to go ahead and put my second presence there. It's range 2, and I can get into that. That way I won't have to play Elemental Aegis next turn. And if I do that, I probably don't have to go down bottom track of Serpent. I can do top track instead, which gets more elements, which lets me hit some stuff. So I'm gonna switch that. We're still in spirit phase, so these are happening simultaneously. So I'm gonna go up to the fire here instead and unlock that. All right, cool. All right, that's good. So on Downpour, I gain 1 energy, which I immediately spend on Foundations Sink into Mud. This will work out okay. I'll be able to repeat that as well. Okay, cool. Alright, so next up we go to fast powers. So I'm going to use Gift of Flowing Power, targeting Downpour. Target spirit gains 1 energy, so that'll go to Downpour. And target spirit chooses to either play another power card by paying its cost, or gain 1 fire and 1 water. And I'm going to go ahead and gain a fire and a water, so I have even more elements here. Well, that gives me 5 water, which I don't really need. It won't let me do this, but that doesn't really accomplish anything. So I could just play this, but yeah, I could play this. Isolates land, and I can push stuff out. Sure, I'll try that. I'll give it a shot. Let's see, they're gonna build a city there. I won't be able to do anything to help that. Okay. Alright, let's try it. So I'm going to repeat a power card by paying its cost. Dark Skies, loose a stinging. Play another power card by paying its cost. Dark Skies, loose a stinging rain. Yeah. I think that's okay. All right. And then I can isolate a land from there. I'm going to go ahead and isolate this land and push these guys. Let's say into that jungle. I'll go ahead and do it into that sands instead. Okay. So those were fast powers. I can't really do any of the fast powers from Downpour, so that's okay. So next up is going to be the invader phase. So flip a ceremonial event, then it goes to the actual invader options. So they're going to go ahead and build in mountains. Let's see where I put my towns here. This goes away. You get a city up there, which is fine. Then explore in wetlands. Not great, I don't like that. This one's isolated, so they don't get anything there, so I did guess right. And I don't like that either. So wetlands not a great one here. Gonna have to do something about it. Alright. And that's their turn. So next it goes to slow powers. Don't have any of the innates for Snake just yet. But I do have some things that I can do on Downpour. So first up, I have 5 water. So I get my innate twice, pour down power across the island. For each 2 water that I have, During the slow or fast phase, I can choose to either gain 1 energy or repeat one of my land targeting power cards by paying its cost again. I'm going to gain 1 energy and use that 1 energy to repeat Foundation Sink in the Mud, destroying a town here and here, targeting this land and this land, which gets me 2 fear. Pretty good. And that'll make it a little easier for Serpent to defend those. Unfortunately, no, it'll still be fine, because I'll be able to use Rain and Mud, suppress conflict, and stop those. Good. All worked out. Yeah. So that's that. That's it. So, go back to Time Passes. Discard these cards. Discard this one, and I'm back to Time Passes. Now my turn with Downpour is very easy. I'm going to go ahead and add a Presence and gain 2 water once again. So I'll keep those water here. I'm going to want to stop the counterattacks, or stop the attacks up in that corner so I can keep those beasts safe. And this is no longer isolated. So I'm going to go ahead and put both of these in that upper right corner, I think, because that's going to let me defend that a lot starting next turn. Giving up the Ravage there, giving up the Ravage there, totally fine. I don't need to worry about that. Reducing counterattack, yeah, this will all work out great for Downpour. With Serpent slumbering beneath the island, I have a couple options here, but I think I want to go ahead and start using Absorb Essence. So, just so I can get some stuff out, gets me a lot of energy. I don't need to use Elemental Aegis just yet. I do want to try to get to this corner so I can deal with it a little bit later. So, do I want to get the any elements? I think I probably do, because that'll let me destroy a town potentially. So I'm going to go into here from any. That's adding a presence to a lane without blight. I could gain a power card. I could gain 4 energy. You know, I'm going to get the Reclaim 1 back next turn. I'm going to go ahead and go for an early major. I'm going to have 5 energy this turn. Absorb Essence will give me 1 back, basically. So if I can get a 3 energy major, I can play it next turn. And I can forget Gift of Flowing Power. It's a good card, but I probably won't need it again this game. So my first option here is Bloodrack Plague. It's a fast card, range 2, target any land, add 2 disease. For each disease in target land, defend 1 and target and all adjacent lands. It's a good one. And then the kicker I probably could get, and it's 2 fear for each disease in target land, do 1 damage in target or an adjacent land. It's fine. It's okay. The trees and stones speak of war. It's got earth and plant, which is good. 1 damage and defend 2 per haunt in target lands. Pretty good. That would let me kill both of those explorers, which is very nice. And I can do that instead of absorbing essence. So that could be the play. It's one that takes care of an issue right now, and it's going to come in handy throughout the whole game, I think. So that's not a bad one. I've got Unleash a Torrent of the Self Zone Essence. It's fast, target self, gain 4 energy, and you may forget a power card to gain 4 more energy. Or you can pay X energy that deal X damage in a land at 0 range. It's very good. It can do a lot of damage. And if it was late game, I might take that. But right now, I think there are better things that I can do with my energy and presence. Settle into hunting grounds. Your presence count as beasts and badlands. Your presence cannot move. 1 fear, or 2 fear and 2 damage if you have the kicker in one of your lands. I really like Settle into hunting grounds, but I don't think this is going to be a game for it. So I probably go with the Trees and Stones Speak of War. Yeah. 2 costs, a cheap major, but that's alright. And I will forget Gift of Flowing Power. Now I do have a tough choice here, because I only have 1 card play. I do gain energy as well for that. For that. And I gain 1 as well for growth, right? Let's see, I had 4 energy, I had 5, so I should have 4. So yeah, I'll get another energy for growth actually, which is fine. So my plays here, I could play Absorb Essence, which will kind of accelerate me, and I'll be able to kill this town using my innate, but I won't be able to deal with these explorers, and I would like to kill them. Or I can play the Trees and Stones Speak of War, just kill them right away. I won't be able to hit my innate just yet. Let's see. I think taking care of the immediate problem is probably the better move. There's a lot of stuff up in this corner that I don't want to lose, so I don't want to wait to deal with that. So I'm going to play the Trees and Stones Speak of War from Serpent. And then Downpour's turn is easy. I have no cards to play because everything is discarded, so I can move on. So we go to Fast Powers. So Fast Power with Downpour, I'm going to use as innate, which is Rain and Mud suppress conflict on myself. So each of my presence grants defend 1 and lowers Dahan counterattack damage by 1. I don't have any of my second innate just yet. And on Serpent Slumbering, beneath the island, I have the Trees and Stones Speak of War. It's a fast power, range 1, target land with Dahan. I'm going to use it on this land here to target these explorers. So it's 1 damage and defend 2 per Dahan there. Because of Rush's special ability, they will have 1 of these explorers survive, but the other will die. I can move this explorer back into this land. Maybe not the best move, but I'll go with it. Might be better to do the desert. I just don't want it in the land with the beast, so that's why I'm thinking that. And I get 1 fear for that because the explorer ran away. So that's that turn with a fast space. Next I go to an event. And I apologize, I didn't gain my energy for Downpour. It's 1 energy per turn. Not a lot. Rising interest in the island. Your island is unlike any the invaders have seen. The leaders have begun to take interest in tales of strangeness. You may. Ignore the curiosity. Remove the top card of the invader deck to the box. Skip card specially placed during setup. On each board, add 1 town to a land without 1. Or we can weave lies in the minds of their observers. The cost is 4 energy per player, aided by air. Return the top fear card to the box, which is pretty good. And during the next normal ravage, each town and city does +1 damage. I don't have any towns and cities that are ravaging that I care about, so that one's good. I do want to use that option. It's going to accelerate my fear, and it's just better. So whether I can pay the cost or not remains to be seen. So on Downpour, I have 1 up. And I can use the any here. I haven't used it for anything else just yet, so I'll use that for a leaf as well. So that means that my cost is 6 to pay for that ability. I do have a couple of cards with leaf in my discard on Downpour that I could forget. Downpour's cards are good, so I don't really like to do that. I'll go ahead and forget Dark Skies, Loose a Stinging Rain. So now my cost is just 2. I'll pay it from Serpent. So I remove the top fear card here, get back in the box. I'm never going to get to know what it was. And during normal ravage, each town and city does +1 damage. Not going to matter. I'm letting the lands that have towns and cities ravage anyway. Then Beasts of the Jungle. On each board, add 1 beast to a jungle without blight. 1 fear if invaders are present. Okay. So I'm going to throw it in here, and I'll throw it in here to generate the fear. Dangerous a little bit because of Russia's special thing, but I think that's okay. And then Traps and Snares. On each board, add 1 wilds to a land with Dawn. So that's pretty good. Let's see. I kind of want to keep them out of the corner there, so I'm going to put a wilds up here. And I'll start trying to keep them from that away. Okay, cool. So that's the event. No fear card just yet. A little slow in generating fear, but that's alright. So we go to the invader phase. So first up, they ravage in mountains. So there's going to be a blight there, and a blight there. No beast to collect, no Dahan to destroy, no presence to lose, so that's totally fine. Next, they're going to build in wetlands. I've cleared out 2 of the wetlands, so that's good. But they will still build there, which I'll have to deal with. And there. I can probably deal with it just fine. So that's the build. And then explore in jungles. Just kind of hoping it wasn't that, but, you know, that's okay. Go up there. And that's their turn. And next up, it goes to slow powers. I had no slow powers this turn, so that's the end. I guess I can do 1 damage to a town, but it's going to recover anyway, so it's fine. Yeah. So time passes. Discard this. And I'm back to growth. Oh, last thing before I forget, while we're still in the slow phase, I do have my special ability here of gaining energy for each 2 water that I have. I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4 water, so I do gain 2 energy. Despite playing no cards. It's kind of a weird spirit in that regard. Alright, so now it is time passes, back to growth. I'm going to do the same thing on Downpour. It's just a very strong strategy, so I'm going to keep it up. Go all top track. And because I'm going all top track, oh, you know what? I completely forgot. Ravages happened here. Because the defend 1 from my presence, no damage was done to the land, and the Dahan would fight back and kill each of those explorers. But because of Russia's ability, the explorers would instead be pushed, you know, it's a little bit of a retcon because I have extra information here, but I probably would have pushed them into that sands, and then from here I probably would have pushed into the mountain. So, and that is 2 fear for that, so not bad. Okay, now I'm caught up on information. I think everything's accurate. Sorry for the mistakes, guys. It's hard to keep track of playing and commentate at the same time. Still something I'm working on. Alright, so I'm back to growth now. I'm going to gain 2 presence and put both into here so I can suppress that ravage. Don't want it to cascade. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 water and an earth. So each of those is going to be 2 defense. So I have 4 defense in each of those wetlands, which will be enough to stop those ravages. So that is perfectly fine. So that is his turn. I also get 2 energy actually, just from top track. And now I go to Serpent. And Serpent, I have a couple options here. Because of Downpour, I don't have to worry about defense with Serpent. So I can kind of focus on working on those jungles, which are an issue. This one especially is going to be a problem, because that's going to build a city, and it's got a lot of stuff there. and I'd like to be able to take it out. So I think now it's time to absorb Essence. I don't have to use Elemental Aegis, so I will keep that in my back pocket. I can reclaim one if I get the top action there, but it's not going to do much for me, to be honest, so I don't think I need to do that. So I can start going bottom track and get those moons to start generating up some fear. And that'll be pretty good. So I've already got a presence there. I'm gonna go bottom track now and put a guy in there, which will let me take out that town that gets built. So that was presence. As far as my second growth option, I can gain another power card and gain 1 energy, or I can gain 4 energy. Might be best to gain the 4 energy, then I can work on major possibly next turn. So yeah, I'll do that. And then if we get an event that comes up that costs money, I'll have plenty to pay for that. So I gain 4 energy, plus another 4 for the presence track. I'm going to play Absorb Essence, so I can start getting that up, which costs me 2 energy. And that is my turn. This is a very defensive game, just kind of the nature of Serpent and Downpour until they get going, which takes a while. So I'm kind of stalling for time here until I can get majors with Serpent and possibly repeat majors with Downpour. Alright, so I'm going into the fast phase now. With Serpent, this any element is going to be an earth. I may as well just put one on there so I remember it. I could make it a, no, I don't need the energy as much, so yeah, definitely doing an earth there. I get a lot with Serpent Rouses and Anger out of that. And then I'm going to absorb Essence, so I absorb one of Downpour's essences from the board. I'll go ahead and do it from that wetland. Yeah, I think that's alright. Put it onto this track. Move one of the target spirit's presence from the board to my Deep Slumber track, like I just did. Absorb presence cannot be returned to play. Target spirit gains 1 element of any type and 1 energy. So 1 energy is good. Starting to get a lot of energy with Downpour. Did I already gain my 1 energy for presence here? I think I did. Let's see, take that away. I had 3, 1. I don't think I have yet, actually. So I'm gonna put that there. I should have done that when I added the presence to the board, actually. I'll check the video. If I end up winning because of an extra energy, I'll wreck on that. I'll keep better track as I go through growth. It's tricky because I'm not playing cards, so that makes it a little weird with this spirit so far. Okay, so I absorbed essence, gained my 1 energy, and I also gain any element. Right now, do I have an odd number of water? I do, so I'm going to gain another water. So I have an even number there. Or I could remove a blight if I gain a plant instead. I have to remove a presence for that, which is probably not play. Might be okay. I'm gonna shuffle things around again. I'm still kind of in the same turn. So Deep Slumber, instead of coming off of this land, I'm gonna take it off this land. So I'll move that one back up there. And I'm gonna gain a plant from the Absorb Essence there. Absorb Essence also gives Serpent 3 more energy. I'll put that down. Okay, now fast phase stuff. I have Rain and Mud suppress conflict. So I have the 2nd level. So each of my presence grants defend 2 and reduces Dahan counterattack damage by 2. So in this land and this land, they are each defended 4. That actually might not be enough there, so hopefully I get something that reduces that. And that's okay. So I might gather a Dahan there just so I can hope that an event makes something happen. Okay. Then I also have Water Nourishes Life's Growth. I have the 2nd level. So I'm going to target this land here. I gain 1 energy. And I'm going to remove this blight by removing this presence. And then the 2nd level, I gain another energy. Let me exchange some of these for level 3. And I can gather up to 1 Dahan in this land. I'll go ahead and do it from there. Yeah, and that's that. And Serpent's innates are slow, so that's it. So I'm hoping for an event that will kill an explorer, otherwise I will take some damage there, which is not great, but couldn't really be helped, I don't think. So we go to an event. Farmers seek the Dahan for aid. The Dahan are uncertain whether to teach the invaders farming techniques more in tune with the island's life. You recommend that they spurn the invaders. On each board, 2 damage to Dahan in a land with towns and cities. On each board, add 1 blight to a land with at least 2 towns and cities. And towns and cities have -1 health until the end of the turn. Or they can teach the invaders. On each board, add 1 town to a land with blight, and the next normal ravage becomes a build. This could be on a future turn. Don't really like the build there. It will save me losing a presence and a beast and a blight up in the corner. So just for that reason, it might be worth it. And if I add blight to a land with at least 2 towns and cities, I'm going to cascade from here anyway. And I don't want to do that. Well, so let's see. So if I let them ravage instead, this is going to ravage. I lose a presence, a beast gets claimed by the Russians, and a blight gets added there. So that's 1 blight added total. If I put a blight here, which I would have to, 2 blight get added, but I save a presence and a beast, and stop them from building a couple of cities. The thing is, 2 of the lands are empty, so they're not going to build there. So that might be okay. Alright, I'm going to have them teach the invaders. We'll see if that's the right choice. So on each board, add 1 town to a land with Dahan. I don't want to do it into wetlands or jungle if I can help it. And I can, so I'll go ahead and put those there. Okay. Might not be the right choice. We'll see how it plays out. And then the next normal ravage becomes a build. So I'll just slide this under the build just so I remember that. And then new diseases on half the boards rounding up. Add 1 disease to a land with both Dahan and invaders. Do 2 damage to Dahan there. And this is not a ravage, so I can split up the damage to Dahan, which is nice. I'll go ahead and add it in here. Do 1 damage to each of these Dahan. And I could do the same thing in that jungle and stop that build. Yeah, I'll do that. 2 damage to those Dahan. Okay. So that's the event. A little bit long. Sorry about that. Still no fear card. A little bit slow in gathering. Don't worry, they're going to be coming in deluges soon. So I go to the invader phase, and I go to wetlands and jungle. So they are going to build in wetlands first. So I'll get cities in this land and this land. Not great, but that's it. And that's the end of that card, so it's okay. And then build in jungle. You get a couple of builds here. Still stalling for time, so this is okay. Alright, and then explore wetlands again. Ouch. Okay. So I'm going to go up there. 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 Unfortunately, I had a wilds there. Not great. And then the escalation here is add 2 explorers among lands with beasts on each board. So I can do that. I'll go ahead and add them into the sands there. Don't have to split them up evenly. Ouch. Might have to let this one go. So I'll go ahead and throw them in here. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, so that's Russia. Next up is slow powers. Still have my special power here of pour down power across the island for each 2 water that I have, which I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can gain an energy. So I'll gain 2 energy from that. And it might be time to start using powers since I have a lot of energy now on this spirit. On Serpent, on the other hand, use this for an earth, so I have 2 earth, 2 moon, and 2 fire, which means I hit both of the first 2 levels of my innate. For the first level, I can do 1 damage to a town and city for each earth and fire that I have, so that's 2 damage total. I'll use that to take out this guy. So that's a fear. And then I have 2 moon and 2 earth, so for each 2 moon and 2 earth that I have, I can do 2 fear and push 1 town from that target land. May as well clear out the... Oh, I don't have that in there. So I don't really have a good one to do, honestly. Yeah, I'll just get the 2 fear. I'm not going to push from this land. I can't anyway, so 2 more fear. And I get my first fear card. My Serpent is finally rousing in anger. Alright, back to growth. Or back to time passes. So all of these Dahan will heal up. And is it time to break my streak on Downpour and finally start playing power cards? What's happening this turn? So they're going to ravage in jungles. Not great, but let's see. Energy, okay. So I could stop one of those ravages with just placing presence down. Might be okay. I would like to avoid losing that guy. I think it's probably time to start playing power cards. So I'm going to go ahead and gain 1 presence at a range of 3. I'll throw it into this mountain here. You know what, I'll put it in here so I have a sacred site. There. I will gain a major. So looking for Cleansing Floods. If I can get that, that would be amazing. I've got Savage Transformation. 1 slow power. It's not really great. It does replace, so that's a good way to get rid of Russia's explorers. I just replace them with beasts. I'm probably not going to be able to hit the kicker on it though. Vengeance of the Dead, not a great card really for me. Not a great card in general, so that's not going to be it. Vigor of the Breaking Dawn is 2 damage per Dahan in target land. Yeah, it's again okay. And Infinite Vitality. Dahan have +4 health while in target land. Whenever Blight would be added to target land, instead leave it on the card. Not a lot of great choices, to be honest. This was kind of a shitty draw. I'm going to go ahead and forget Unbearable Deluge. And I might go Savage Transformation. I'll be able to play it a couple times and replace a bunch of explorers with beasts, which is really not terrible, especially against Russia. So let's try that. I'll go Savage Transformation. It's the only card I have in hand, so I'll go ahead and play that right away. I get 2 energy, so I'll go ahead and put that on Savage Transformation right away. Sadly, I won't get the kicker. It's going to get a bunch of fear and replace a bunch of explorers, so it's not awful. It is a slow power, but that's okay. Okay. Yeah, so that's good. Got my 2 energy, got everything there. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 water, so I can repeat it twice. It's okay. It's okay. Could have been better, but that's alright. So now I go to Serpent. Serpent has a couple options here. Probably don't need to gain energy. I do want to gain add presence to land without blight. And I can go for 2 card plays. Would like to do something to stop this if I can. It's doing 7 damage though, which is quite a bit. I can't really do much with that, honestly. Okay. Alright, well, let's see what I can do here. I'm not going to reclaim a card. I'm going to gain another major. And go for 2 card plays. Let me gain the major first. Major first. Alright, so 1 energy and gain a power. Okay, power 1 is Paralyzing Frights. Pretty good. I can skip everything there. And eventually I might be able to hit the kicker on that, so not bad at all. Invaders skip all actions in target land. Utter Curse of Dread and Bone, really cool card. So slow power, range 1 from a Sacred Site. For each blight in or adjacent to target land, add a Badlands, a Disease, or a Strife, then 2 fear, 1 damage. And then with the kicker, it's really cool. For each type of token that you added, add 1 more within 1 range and 1 damage in an adjacent land. Kicker's going to be hard to get. I don't have any other card with animal, so that's the only reason I wouldn't consider that. Blazing Renewal, that could be good. So target spirit places 2 of their destroyed presence into a single land, up to 2 distance from your presence. If any presence was returned, 2 damage to each town city in that land. Then with the kicker, it does +4 damage. That one's probably the play. And then Storm Swath, 2 fear in both origin land and target land, 1 damage to each invader. Okay, cool. Storm Swath's okay. I'm going to go for Blazing Renewal, though. Just because Presence is really good for both of these spirits. And I'll go ahead and forget the trees and stones speak of war. It was a good temporary stopgap. And I am going to play that. Let me get my 1 energy for that. So this will cost me 5. I'm going to lose this presence, but that's okay actually, because I am getting Blazing Renewal, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Okay. And I do need Elemental Aegis, just so this land doesn't blight, so I'm going to go ahead and play that. So Elemental Aegis is getting played here, in that land, and in all adjacent lands. It's a defend 3, so pretty good. Alright, so I move on to the fast phase. Oh, sorry, I need to place presence now. That would help. So this is my second growth option, adding presence to a land without blight. I'll go ahead and throw it here. Just start spreading out. Okay. So that gives me the 2 card plays. As far as my any element, I could get a couple different things. Let's see. It'll probably be a moon, just so I can get the 2nd level of Serpent Rouses and Anger. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay. 2 damage to each. Alright, so Blazing Renewal is getting played on Downpour, which has a destroyed presence, and it can place this presence within 2 range of Serpent's presence, which is almost everywhere on the board. A couple places that it won't quite reach, but that's fine. I mean, I actually would rather play this card in the slow phase, but say la vie. Put it in here, each of my presence is going to defend 2, so that won't be enough. So I'm going to let that one go. If I put it in here, I do 2 damage to the city, which is not enough to kill it. And it adds some more defense. It adds 2 defense. Currently I have 5 defense. 3 defense there, so that would be 7. Not quite enough defense, unfortunately. So I'll go ahead and put it back here and take out that town. Don't quite have the kicker, unfortunately. Can't quite get it either. So, okay, and just to remind myself, this any element will be a moon. Now it goes to Downpour, using its special rule, Rain and Mud suppress conflict. Not going to do anything, but that's fine. Then I'm going to use Water, nourishes life's growth. Oh no, I don't have a second plant, so I can't do that. Need something with plant. Need a major with plant. Plant and water. Okay. So that's that. Next up, we are going to go to an event. We're still in Terra level 1, so it's going to be cultural assimilation. On each board, in a land with exactly one Dahan that has or is adjacent to a city, replace that Dahan with one town. Don't like that. But you know this Dahan was going to die anyway, so I'll just go ahead and put it there. And up here, it's no fun, but I'll do it in this mountain. Okay. Beasts attack. Each beast deals 2 damage. Remove any token that destroys towns or cities. It's pretty good up here. So I can have it kill all of those explorers. That's gonna be nice. And that will keep the beasts alive. So I'll kill all of the explorers. One gets pushed thanks to Russian nonsense. So I'll go ahead and push it into this mountain, which I get a fear for. That was 3 damage. It also does 2 to that. Here, Beast is getting removed anyway, so I'll just go ahead and kill that town for another fear. Here, kills both of these. One gets pushed. I'll push it into... I'll push it into the jungle, because it's ravaging anyway. So I get a fear for that. This beast is going to kill 2 of these guys, one of which gets pushed. And I'll push him back into the sands. And I get a fear for that. So pretty good from that card. Okay, then Reckless Offensive. On each board, choose a land with at least 2 Dahan and at least 2 towns and cities. Each Dahan destroys 1 town or city and add a plate. I don't think I have any lands that meet that requirement. No, I don't, so that's okay. And then a fear card, my first one, hopefully the first of many. Flee the Pestilent Land. Each player removes 1 explorer or town from a land with disease. I can only do that one. Alright. Invader Phase. Ravage and Jungle. This is defended, so this guy will die, because, you know, Russian shenanigans. He doesn't actually die. I'll throw him up in the jungle there, just to stack him. And I get a fear for that. This one will ravage, and they collect their first beast. Hi there, Katniss. Oh, hello. You're not wanted here. Sorry. That one will ravage. And this one as well. Collecting a second beast. Katniss. Why are you so destructive? You're less destructive than Nikki. Alright, let me fix this. Alright, yay cats. Alright, so that was the Ravage step. 3 blade added, it's not great, but I still do have a happy island. And then we go to the build. So building wetlands. Get the town up there. Town here. Town here, which I will be able to deal with. And that's it. Exploring sands. No exploration there. there, and there. So a couple hot spots coming up. But I think I'll be good. It's not too bad. And then the escalation here, they're adding 2 explorers in each land with beasts, or split among beasts. I have 4 beasts on the board, and they've collected 2 pelts. They've collected 2 beasts, so I can't really afford to lose any more. On this board, I have to throw them up here, which is unfortunate, but I haven't gotten anything that adds beasts until the slow phase this turn. And here I can split them up, which I won't do. I'm just gonna put them all in here and then try to deal with them. All right. Yep, that's that. So then slow powers happen. So let's do Savage Transformation spam first. So in this land here, I'm going to replace one of these with a beast. And that gets me 2 fear. I'm going to pay 2 energy to repeat that, and I can repeat this twice. Only twice, unfortunately. It's a range of 1. Go ahead and do it up there again. It'll make it easier to defend. So 4 beasts there. Where do I want to split them up so that I don't have to worry about Russia's escalation as much? I think that's probably the play. So instead, I'm going to do it in this land. And then I get 1 more play with that for another 2 energy. That was 2 more fear. That'll be 2 fear for this 3rd play. And I'll go ahead and do it here. Or here. If I had the kicker for this, it would be so good. But alas. This is more an immediate concern. So I'll do... Well, they'll collect that, so I'll do it here. Alright. So that was Savage Transformations. I also have a couple things here. So I first have the innate power, Serpent Wakes in power. I get 1 energy, and so does Downpour, which I guess is also me. And then I have Serpent Rouses in Anger. I have 3 fire, 2 earth, 2 moon. So I'm going to go ahead and target this land here. I can do 1 damage to a town and city twice, so I'll use that to kill that town and city for a fear. And then I can do 2 fear, which is going to get another fear card and push me into tier level 2, which is pretty good. Using the 2nd level of Serpent Rouses in Anger, I can push 1 town from here, and I'll stack up in here because I can deal with that pretty easily. Alright, and that is that. So, time passes. Okay, so Ravage and Wetlands. I need to deal with that one, that one, that one. That one, fortunately, is okay. So a little bit tricky here. Let's see. I only have Gift of the Primordial Deeps left. Don't really want to reclaim cards, but I might have to. I can get the Reclaim 1 instead, which is better. I'll go ahead and do that. I can use Blazing Renewal here as well to take out those 3 towns, which will be very nice. Does cost 5 energy, but I can gain that pretty easily. So let's see, Ravaging Wetlands. So I can try to deal with that. It's gonna be tricky. They're doing 7 damage here. I could add a bunch of defense, but that's alright. Let's see. It's range 3. 1, 2, 3. Go up and go into that desert. Okay. So that was add a presence tool name without blight. I have a second growth option. Can gain 4 energy, gain a power card, and gain 1 energy, or I can reclaim cards. I'm not going to reclaim just yet. I want to get Blazing Renewal back so I can kill some towns, which I could actually do up there. It's probably worth it to kill those 2 towns. So that'll reduce the damage that they're doing to 5, which I can probably just defend with Downpour. Katniss, what are you doing? Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm mean. Okay. She loves destroying the invaders. Okay. So gain 4 energy or gain a power card and 1 energy. I think the 4 energy is probably better. I don't need another power card right now. I've got a couple good ones. So yeah, I'm going to gain the 4 energy just so I can keep that rolling. Gain another 4 presence. I can reclaim 1 card as part of growth. I'm going to reclaim Blazing Renewal. I'll play it and Gift of the Primordial Deeps. I'll have to reclaim next turn, but that's alright. That will get me Absorb Essence back. Alright, so that's 5. And that's 1. Okay, so that's that. Now I go to Downpour. Do I want to finally reclaim with Downpour? I got some good Sink Foundations into Mud plays, but really, I would like to spend all this energy that I have on replaying some majors. So let's go ahead and gain a major. I'm doing my 3rd growth option again. I can add a presence at 3 range. And let's play Lottery again. So Poison Land, 1 fear, 7 damage, add 1 blight, and destroy all towns. That's not really what I want to be doing. Also, has no water, but it does have plants, which I do need. Cleansing Floods is perfect. 4 damage, remove a blight. If I have 4 water, which I always do, plus 10 damage, so that's probably gonna be the play. Turn the Wounded Wild turns on its assailants. Slow power, add 2 Badlands. It has not great elements. And Pillar of Living Flame. Yeah, no, it's an easy choice. I'm going Cleansing Floods. It's like it was made for this spirit, really. And I'll go ahead and forget Savage Transformation. I'll be able to play Cleansing Floods twice this turn, which is not bad. So I gain an energy for that, and then 2 for growth, so I'll gain 3 energy. And I get to add a presence at a range of 3. If I add it into here, I'll have 6 defense there, and they're doing 7 damage. So yeah, I'll just sack up a 3rd one, and add 1 there. Okay, let's see what happens. summon with my 1 card play. The only card that I have that's not discarded is Cleansing Floods, so I'm going to go ahead and play that. Alright, so we go to fast powers. I have Blazing Renewal. I have 1 Destroyed Presence here on Serpent, so I'm going to go ahead and play that up in this corner, doing 2 damage to each town and city. Kills 2 towns, which I get 2 fear for. Then Gift of the Primordial Deeps. I'm going to give a minor power to Downpour Drenches the World. If I can get one with water and plant, that would be perfect. So I've got Gift of Living Energy. Target spirit gains 1 energy, plus 1 energy if target spirit is not yourself. And if you have at least 2 sacred sites, which I do, they gain plus 1 energy. It's okay. Inflame the Fires of Life. Add 1 disease. Add fear. Add strife. It's okay. Spur on with Words of Fire. If you target a spirit other than yourself, they gain 1 energy, and they may play another power card by playing its cost. Or Twilight Fog brings Madness. Add 1 strife. Push 1 to Han, and each remaining to Han takes 1 damage. Not really great. I guess I can add a bunch of strife, but don't really need to do that. So I'm going to take Gift of Living Energy. And discard the rest. It's the first time I've gained a minor. And then target spirit chooses to either play it immediately by paying its cost, or they can gain 1 moon and 1 earth. So actually, if I had gotten... Oh no, this one does have plant. So yeah, that's perfect. So I'll go ahead and do that. It's free, so I can play it right away. I don't need the moon and the earth, so I have Gift of Living Energy now. Alright, so those are the 2 cards for Serpent. Now for Downpour, I have Gift of Living Energy. I'm going to go ahead and target Serpent. Target spirit gains 1 energy, plus 1 energy because it's not myself, and then plus 1 energy because there's at least 2 sacred sites. So 3 energy per Serpent. And then because I played that card, I now have a plant. So I have 2 plants, which I can use for Water Nourishes Life's Growth. Gain 1 energy. You may remove 1 blight by removing 1 of your presents. Fortunately, I don't really have a target that I want to do that, because if I remove... Well, no, I've already... yeah, your presence grant defend 1, so if I remove this, then the land wouldn't be defended 7, so I don't really want to do that. Unfortunately, I'm not where Blight is. I should have moved a presence into 1, but that's okay. So I'll target... let's see, this is going to Ravage, so I'll just get this to hunt out. I'll target this land here, gather that one. Don't have a Blight to remove. But I do have the 2nd level here, so I gain 2 energy. I think that was both. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So, now it goes to Innovate. We're in Terra level 2, so Destroy the Unnatural. Invaders do plus 3 damage when ravaging in lands with presence. Not great. I should have destroyed that blight. Prey on the Unwary. Each beast destroys 1 explorer. Add 1 beast on a board without 1. So that's good. Destroys 2 of these. 1 of them will get pushed instead and generate me a fear. I'll push it into this jungle. Okay, that's a fear. This one too, it's going to get pushed. Push it into here, got a fear. And then this one will get pushed somewhere. Sure, I'll push it into that mountain, get another fear. And that's that. Okay. Rouse the spirits. Each spirit with at least 3 Dahan among its lands may use a slow power now instead of later. Do I have that? Yes, I do. 3 Dahan among lands on Downpour. So Downpour is going to go ahead and use Cleansing Floods now on this land to do 10 damage there. One of these will escape and go somewhere. Let's just throw them into here. And that gets me 3 fears, 2 for destroying the city, 1 for pushing the Explorer, which gets me a 3rd fear card. And then I can go ahead and repeat Cleansing Floods, which I will do. By paying 5 more energy. And I'll go ahead and use that here. Oh, this gets removed. Use that here, so that's 5 damage, 6, 7, 8. One of these gets pushed. I'll just push it into this wetland, because that's defended a bunch. And that's going to be 2, 3, 4 more fear. And then I have my innate here of pour down power across the island. How many waters do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Used one of those for repeat, so I can gain 2 energy with the others, and then I won't have another, so I can't do a 3rd Cleansing Floods, unfortunately. Okay, so that's that. Cool, that worked out well. I was about to be an unhappy spirit because of the extra damage there, but it all worked out. Oh, so wait, how much damage are they doing here? They're doing 7 because of the extra presence, and I have only 5, so yeah, I can't push that guy into there. He's going to get pushed into here instead. Okay, cool. 3 fear cards, Terra level 2. First up, Panicked by Wild Beasts. Terra level 2, each player adds 1 strife in a land with or adjacent to beasts. Invaders skip their normal, explore, and build in lands with beasts. That's really good. So, let's see. I'll go ahead and add this here. It's adjacent to beasts. And I'll just do this one as well, and then I won't have to worry about it. Okay. So that was Panicked. Actually, I'll keep that up because it's got an ongoing effect. Each player, spreading timidity, each player chooses a different land to isolate. Also defend 2 in those lands. Okay, I'll keep some stuff isolated. I'm going to isolate this one here, so it's not a source of exploration. It should be okay. And for this guy, I'll go ahead and throw it into this land. Okay, spreading timidity. Defended 2 in those lands as well. And then Dahan Raid. Each player chooses a different land with Dahan. 1 damage per Dahan there. Well, this one, I guess. Well, this one first. So 1 damage per Dahan. This guy will get pushed. I'll push him into here again, I guess. Might have needed to Cleansing Floods that, but that's okay. It'll happen next turn. And then a Fear. I'll do this one as well, and push this guy. I'll stack him out. Since I'm not playing against Rush 3, it's okay to do that. If I was, it would change my strategy quite a bit. So an extra Fear for that. Alright. Ravage and Wetlands. Defended a bunch. Not defended at all. Empty and empty. So that's it. Barely keeping a healthy island. Then I go to build in sands. So empty, I do build there. And they don't build there. Okay, and then explore jungle, ignoring lands with beasts. Oh, and actually they don't build in lands with beasts either, so they don't build there. That's pretty good. But they will explore, but they don't explore here. They do explore up there. They do explore here, so I'm going to need a Cleansing Floods play again soon. And they do explore here. And then the escalation. Go ahead and add these up in the wetlands. Should be safe. And I'll add these. I don't really want to add them into that jungle. So I guess I'll add them into this wetlands. Okay. Slow powers. I'll play all my powers fast on Downpour. Slumbering Serpent has Serpent Wakes in power. Level 1. If I make that a water, which might be okay. Do I need anything else? I don't think so. Yeah, so this is a water this turn. I'm going to use Serpent Wakes in power to give 1 energy to both Serpent and Downpour. And then I'll go ahead and use Serpent Rouses in Anger. I have 2 levels of that. So I can do 2 damage to towns and cities, and also push a town and city, and get some fear. So, am I in any jungles that I need to push stuff out of? Not really. Oh, this was isolated as well, so they couldn't explore there. Forgot about that. So where's best to use this power? It's range 0. I could finish off that city up in the upper right hand corner. It's probably worth it. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. So I'll finish off this city to fear. And I can't push anything, but I do get 2 more fear. 4 Serpent Rouses in Anger. So another fear card, 1 fear card away from Terror level 3. So getting close to my win condition here. Okay. And then time passes. So go ahead and use all this. Probably gonna have to reclaim on Serpent. I have no cards left. I would like to keep abusing Cleansing Floods on Downpour. But I have no cards. I might finally have to reclaim. I'm going to reclaim on Downpour, which means I don't get to add a presence, unfortunately. But I do gain a power card. I'm just going to gain a minor because I'm a little energy poor at the moment. So double reclaim turn. First up I have Disorienting Landscape, fast power, 2 range from a sacred site, push 1, explore, if target land is mountain or jungle, add 1 wilds. That's pretty good, especially because I can repeat that. Okay. Treacherous Waterways, add 1 wilds or push 1 explore. It's like a worse version, but it's 0 energy, so could potentially repeat that a couple of times. Animated Rack Root, 0 energy as well. 1 fear, destroy 1 present, or destroy 1 explorer, or add 1 wilds. Lots of options to add wilds. Or Sky Stretches to shore. I don't need that. Elements are good, but I'm not going to need it. So I don't think I want Animated Rack Root. It could get a lot of fear for me, actually, but it's a 0 cost. I get 1 fear for destroying, 1 fear for the card. a lot of free fear. And it does have plant. Yeah, I'll do that. We'll see how that works. Okay, so let me play out this turn before I move on to Serpent. I'm going to gain 2 energy just from growth, and I can move presence at 2 range and also presence at 1 range. They're Ravaging and Sands. Don't have to worry about that or that. That's just going to all die. Do have to worry about that. So let's move this presence over here. And then the Ravage will be taken care of. I don't have to worry about it whatsoever. As far as the build in jungles, that is dangerous. 3 of the jungles have Blight, so that is scary. I'll be able to remove that one with a Cleansing Floods. So that one should be fine. Let me go ahead and move this presence here just so I can set up for a defense in this land. Or I could just remove the Blight there, which is also good. Yeah, that's probably the Blight. Okay. Okay, so that's good. I've got 1 card play. Do I want to play? Yeah, unfortunately, that second card play would help a lot. Because I would like to get all that fear from Animated Rackroot, but I'm just going to go ahead and play Cleansing Floods. I think it's the way to go. I think I might be able to get a second play on it. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I can get 2 more energy. So I do have enough to play that twice, which will be good. Oh, I forgot to move that from when I Cleansing Floods it. But the play is probably going to be this one and this one. They're kind of built up. Alright. Yep. That's fine. Okay, so that's Downpour taken care of. Next, I'll move on to Serpent. I'm also going to Reclaim. I can move a presence because of that. I don't know that I really want to. I guess I can move this guy out of there. Over here. Just start stacking things up a little bit more. I can't use Blazing Renewal yet, but I will be able to because Downpour is going to destroy a presence to remove a Blight. And then I would be able to have him put his presence back here and kill all of those, which would be very nice. Or go up in here and kill 2 of those. So Blazing Renewal is going to be pretty good. Absorb Essence, I can do again. How many presents do I have on the board? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can add 1 more before I'm going to need to absorb Essence again. I don't think I need the elements. Actually, I do. I want to give a leaf over to Downpour. So I think this is a Blazing Renewal, Absorb Essence turn. As far as my second growth option, do I want the water? I won't have the second level of Serpent Wakes in power. Getting close though, very close. Or I can just gain energy. I'll go ahead and add the presence. Gets me set up for stuff. And I don't need any sacred sites still, so I'll go ahead and put that over here. Spread out across the whole map. It's the way to go. 1 energy from growth, or for presence, excuse me. And then I'm going to play 2 cards, which cost me a lot. 7. That should be worth it. Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and go. So I'm in the fast phase on Serpent. I'm going to go ahead and absorb Essence onto Downpour. I'll take one from up there. Absorb that Essence. That gives Serpent 3 energy. And then I can give an energy and any element to Downpour. So it's going to give that, and it's going to get a plant. Now, Downpour is going to use that plant to use Water Nourishes Life's Growth here, remove a presence, and a blight. It gets 1 energy, and I have the 2nd level of Water Nourishes Life's Growth, so I gain a 2nd energy. And I can gather up to 1 Dahan, which I don't need to do. Want to do? Do I want to do that? I guess I'll do this one. I only need the 2 there. Don't have the 3rd level. And then Raid and Mud suppress conflict. I'm going to go ahead and use that. So each of my presence grants defend 2 and lowers Dahan counterattack damage by 2. Alright, so event. Oh, sorry, not yet. One more thing. Gotta go back here to Serpent for Blazing Renewal. Now that I have a destroyed presence, I can go ahead and Blazing Renew up here to do 2 damage to each of these, destroying them, getting 2 fear, and adding presence back up there. And do I have the kicker on that? I don't think I do. I'm very close, but not quite. So, sadly, I need that extra any element. Or I need this earth, really. It's the big thing. So I get that next turn, and that's going to be huge. And I haven't decided what my element's going to be. That'll come into play when I do my innates. It's probably going to be an earth. So I'll have 3 levels on this. Well, I don't have anywhere where I'm at that has a city, so I moved my presence. I'm gonna go into there. So I moved out of the corner here. I could retcon this a little bit and have me move there instead. It's all part of the spirit phase, so I think that's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be there instead. So that's part of the move a presence from my growth option. A little bit of a backtrack here, but it's all part of the spirit phase. No new information has come in, so that's okay. Alright, so now I get my event. Interrupting discoveries. I love that typo. I'm in stage 2 and 3. So increasing aggression, invaders do +1 damage per land when ravaging. Okay, that's fine. Weaseling Outbreak. On each board, add 1 disease to the jungle or wetland with the most towns and cities. Minimum of 1. So that's going to be this one here. And it will be... there's only 1 on that board, so I guess I'll throw it in. Oh, that's fine. I'll throw it in there, I guess. And then tend the land. On each board, remove 1 blight from a land with at least 2 Dahan. I think I've moved all the Dahan out of lands with blight. Yeah, so I don't get that, unfortunately. Let me leave that out just so I know the extra damage is there. I don't think it's going to matter, though. Because I'm defending enough here. Yeah, no, it's fine. They're doing 0 there, nothing. Yeah, it's good. So I can put that back. Fear card. Emigration accelerates. Each player removes 1 explorer or town from a coastal land. That's alright. So I could use that to clear out the jungle with the blight. Or I can use it to clear out this jungle here. I'm going to use it to clear out the jungle with the blade. Alright. Now I move on to the invaders. So they're going to Ravening Sands, empty. These guys are doing 0 damage. Dahan will fight back, kill the city for 2 fear, push the explorer, and I'll push him back into here, why not, for an additional fear. This one's defended 2, so he's doing 3 damage, which is not enough. And this one's empty, so that's their ravage. Next is the build it in jungles. I'll get that, and I might win here in the slow phase from the Cleansing Floods. I think I do, so, but I'll play it out, see what happens with the Explorer. Exploring Coastal should be fine. And now I go to the slow phase. I'm just going to play it all out. So I'll save Cleansing Floods and my repeat on that for a little bit. First up, I'll go Serpent Wakes and Power here. And I wanted to use the extra element on... it doesn't really matter, but I guess I'll use it on a fire. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. So I can use Serpent Wakes and Power, gain 1 energy. Spirits with others will do likewise. So boom, boom. Serpent rouses in anger. I can do destroy this town. And do an additional 2 fear, so that's going to be 3 fear total. Which gets me to Terror level 3. Which means that if I destroy those 2 cities, I win. And guess what? Cleansing Floods are coming. Cleansing Floods. Ooh, gotta say that a couple times. I'm gonna fix that in editing. Cleansing Floods are coming. Have the kicker, of course, because I am a water spirit. So I'm going to destroy everything in here. 3 fear, pushing this guy in here. Doesn't really matter. And removing that blight. And then doing 10 damage into this land as well. The reason I can do this, targeting from wetlands, is because I have a sacred site here. This is considered wetlands, so I can target from there. So I'll do my fear for that. Does actually get me another fear card. Doesn't matter though, because there are no cities on the board, and I'm in Terror level 3. That's a win against Russia level 2. So, hope you enjoyed watching that. Russia level 2, much easier than Russia level 3. The fact that with Russia level 3 you can't stack up explorers makes it much more difficult, I think. So this would have been a very different game with that. It was pretty reasonable without it. Russia's probably my hardest adversary. I'll have to look at my win rates here, but I think they are my hardest. So it's good to get a win against them and break a little losing streak that I had in these solo games. Let me go ahead and score this game up. So let's see how I did. It should be pretty good. It's a low difficulty, but there's not a lot of blight on the board. Ended up not flipping the blight card at all, which was good. And actually ended up with just 1 more blight on the board than I started with. Removed a bunch. Okay, so cards left. I had all my Stage 3 cards, so 5 cards left. Pretty early win. Let's see, Dahan, I didn't add any, but I didn't lose many either. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I lost 2, I guess. And then Blight, I've only got 3 on the board. Pretty good. Terror level is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 territories occupied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 22, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 health worth of invaders left. So I'll clean them up pretty well. So that gives me a score of 44. And I think that game was around, looks like around an hour and a half, so not too bad. A little bit above average, but it does take longer when you're playing by yourself. And also explaining things also makes it take a little longer. So let me just reply to a message here. Okay, so 44 points, pretty good. I got a win with the Serpent again, one of my highest scoring spirits. Start that board E. And with Downpour. Okay. So I'm going to continue doing Spirit Island games, probably mostly solo. I'll try to get my fiance and maybe some friends in as well, so we can get some bigger games here. Still working on the camera setup. Hopefully the cards come through clearly. If not, still working on that, but hopefully we'll get improvements with that soon. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and watch any other videos that I may post in the future. But thanks for watching, and have a great day, everyone.